Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do probably the most important thing you can do to a 1911. And hey, what's going on here? Not cool, guys. Not cool. Hi, I'm 1022 Nobody, and honestly, I got sick and tired of waiting for 1911 Nobody to finish his project. I mean, what a blowhard. Man, he's taking way too long to get this thing done. Meanwhile, I'm patiently waiting to be able to show what I want to do. Now, even though I'm mostly fine with that, but there are a few things, that I think I need to address on this, just so I can continue using it. Because after all, I've probably shot about 1,000 rounds through it so far, and I've really been enjoying it. I've been having fun with a know your limits target, and there's some things that have to be addressed. But first, I do have a question for you guys. Now, I'm going to show you some footage here of, well, some bore cam footage. And I got some burrs from the chamber reaming process, and I'm not sure the best way I should take care of these. And it's like I said, I've shot almost 1,000 rounds. I did shoot some full metal jackets through there, hoping that it would hopefully knock them a little loose, but they're pretty stubborn. So just hoping that, it's like maybe you guys, if you come across this before, what would you suggest, besides send it back to Ruger and have them fix it or replace the barrel? But ultimately, I would like to do it here and document the process. So if you have some useful suggestions other than send it back, don't put send it back. Put them in the comments. Let me know. That way, can hopefully get this taken care of. Alright guys, so the first thing that I did to this 1022 in order for me to go out and truly enjoy it is I put this scope mount base on. And it is an EGW, and it is a 20 MOA base. And I just wanted to be able to have something that not only can I shoot at short distances, but also if I wanted to stretch out at some point, to have something that will give me enough elevation to be able to truly do it. And it was a nice, easy install. It matched up perfectly with the mounting holes in the top of the receiver. And so if you're looking for something, it's definitely the way to go. All right, so obviously shooting almost 1,000 rounds, I've had to clean this a couple of times just because they start getting dirty and accuracy starts falling off a little bit, and especially depending on the ammo that you're using. And being the way the Ruger 1022 is set up, you got to go through the muzzle and use a cleaning rod, and I knew that going into this, but I didn't realize, what a pain in the butt it ultimately is. And I tried really hard to be nice and easy with it, not to damage the crown, and I kind of damaged the crown anyway. So, what did I have to do? Well, luckily I have this little chamfering tool, and comes in a little kit like that. And if I can not get glare, stupid lighting. I'll put I've had it for a while, see if I can find the part number for it. But I had this little kit, and I have a 22 caliber brass pilot, and this is a 45-degree cutter, and it just very easily comes in, and I'm not going to actually turn it because I've already done it. You just turn it and gently cut it. And it doesn't take a whole lot, so it's a nice, quick, easy thing to do, especially if you're going to screw up your crown like I did. So, but obviously I didn't want to make this mistake again, so I got on to Brownells and tried to find a solution, and I did find a solution. This drilling jig allows you to connected to the back of your 1022 and drill a nice little hole, so that way you can clean from the chamber side and lessen the risk of damaging your crown. So that's what we're going to be doing today, because at some point I'm going to run out of barrel at the rate that I am going. I don't want to keep cutting it and take that front side off. Pretty soon it would be a pistol. Yeah, I got issues. All right, before we go ahead and drill this out, let's talk about the installation of the drill fixture. It is pretty simple, just some things to know. Put a little bit of tape, that way it helps protect the finish. It goes on your ejection port side, so there's really only one way for you to do this unless you really have a special moment and you install it backwards. It won't help you. You'll figure it out quickly. So you also want to make sure that you use your little nylon washers. That way it helps protect the finish of your receiver. The back, when you're threading it in, you don't need anything because you have some structural strength because it's nice and fat back here. But on the front screw, you are going to want to use that little, brain fart. The little, man, words are hard. Make sure you lose that little tube, steel tube. It's to help you keep it from crushing your receiver. And then go ahead and snug it down, but you don't want to overly torque it down because then you might cause some damage to your receiver. So just snug it up enough to where it's not going to move. Now, as for drilling, it does not come with the drills that you need, which is going to be a F-size drill bit. You can order it from Brownells, and I'll try to find the part number for that. All right, when it comes to aluminum, WD-40 is your friend. It helps keep your cutting really nice and clean. You know, I can never get blue tape to stick this well on anything if I want it to. Yeah, a little bit of clean out to do, but I think this will work just fine. You can tell where it kind of crinkled the paint a little bit from the receiver. But overall, I think it'll be fine. All right, so let's talk about how this thing fits in the Ruger 1022 stock. Well, there's a lot of side-to-side movement and there's back and forth movement. So this isn't going to be necessarily a great stock for accuracy. Besides the fact that it just doesn't fit me very well, period. Just the ergonomics of it. This drops down quite a bit. You have a curved butt pad, and so it's like it just doesn't want to fit me very well. So can we go through and accurize this stock? Sure, you know, we definitely could. You know, we could go through and do some glass bedding, you know, so the receiver fits really nice and tight. We can go ahead and strengthen the fore end to make sure that it does not flex, especially when you put any type of load on it, because I will tell you, I have put some load on it and seen my shots deflect about an inch and a half higher. And well, it comes down to, it's like, yeah, can we do it? Yes. But if I don't like the way the stock feels, if it's not going to benefit and I'm not going to keep it, then what's the point of doing it? So we're not going to do this. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to go ahead and do a Ruger 1022 Hunter stock. And I didn't want to put a whole lot of money into the 1022. You know, I kind of wanted to try to keep it in its original configuration as possible, but the factory stock I think is a hindrance to what is going on, and it's just not enjoyable to shoot. So how is this going to help? Well, if we line everything up with how it would actually fit side by side, you can see there. You can actually see that the Magpul stock, it actually sits higher. It's going to be more comfortable to get a nice consistent cheek weld on it. And plus the butt pad so much nicer. The other thing is man, this thing feels a lot more rigid, you know, which is what I would kind of expect from Magpul. I'm sure that's nothing that you guys aren't unfamiliar with or you haven't seen before. Now, let's see how this is going to fit the receiver. Oh, I almost knocked over my Mountain Dew. That would have been a bad day. Well, I can already tell you, nice and tight. No side to side, no back to back. This is going to help a lot. The only pressure will be on me to do my job, you know, when I pull the trigger. So I think that this is going to be really good. Now, what I don't know is if for sure, which I can't remember if I looked to see if this technically free floats. I know reading the instructions, they talk about how you can put a barrel shim right here, so that way you can change your point of impact. I'm going to try shooting it, you know, without, you know, kind of in the free float mode. But I want to see how this is going to fit in the stock, so which means I got to put the barrel back on. Well, there we are, all mounted up into the stock. I had an extra little rail that I could mount to the bottom so I can put a bipod on it, so which is fantastic. That's why you always keep stuff. And I will tell you, the look, the feel, how it sits in there is 1,000 times better than the factory stock. Now, all I have to do is basically just mount the scope, you know, and get out and go and do some plinking, you know, which is fantastic. I'm also excited that there's a little bit of free float on this. So I'm able to get the instructions through there, which is about 8.5 thousandths of an inch. Not a whole lot, but should be enough to see how it does. I mean, because I can always open it up if it's not enough. So, but other than that, there we are. I guess we'll give it back to 1911 there, buddy, now. Yeah, I'm good for now. Hey, finally, I'm back. Now, what was I talking about?